regrets in life, I would say, is not allowing myself to be educated, being closed-minded, limiting myself to certain things. And while I had the opportunity, not only the opportunity, but the capability, knowing that I have it inside of me to achieve greatness in a whole lot of aspects, but I limited myself. But I didn't know better at the time, and I believe I'm growing up to become a better person each and every single day. So yeah, I think it's being closed-minded and limiting myself. I think I would have listened a little bit more. I would have, tried to explore a little bit more, educate myself, and just try to gain as much information as possible for me to become a better person, which I didn't do at the moment. I was like, this is it, this is it. I was in a closed box. I'm not saying I'm the wokest person alive right now, but yeah.
I would say not being where maybe at the position or the level that I wish I am. At the moment, maybe still be behind of those level that I wish maybe I am at already. And then I would say my regrets in life is anyway, no much regrets. Thank you. I would say actually I have something because you I would say to work better and more on myself than the way I've worked on myself now. I wish maybe I've worked and I've grown more than the way I am now.
One major regret I have in life is not being free, taking things very serious. Life is about, we can have fun, and it's something that I regret not, a lot of things I regret not, just opening myself up and being free. Life is not that serious. So yeah. Concerning the regrets, I just feel like there are lots of things that I let slip by because I took life too serious, and it wasn't actually that serious, and I just needed to be open-minded and just free myself and live in the moment. And that is what I think I need to work on.
My regret in life is not loving my body enough when I was young. So I used to be fat. Okay, I had a BMI of more than 25, of course, and that came with a lot of teasing. My friends used to call me fatso, they used to call me names, and that used to hurt. But whenever I would go to my mom and tell her, Mom, I feel fat, I feel ugly, my mom would always be like, no, you're not fat, you're not ugly and everything. But with time, by the time I was 13 years old, I started getting this consciousness and I started looking at myself in a very, very negative way. And that was around the period when I decided that I have to lose weight. And I lost weight, but in a very unhealthy way. I would starve myself, I would not eat my breakfast, I would skip my dinner. And it was really harsh, and it started showing up on my face. My face had become really dull, and my teachers at school, they started calling my mom and telling her that what's going on with her, she's not looking the way she used to look before. And I used to have legitimate fights with my mother during that period because everything was so negative. I used to feel so negative about myself that I was not able to spread any positivity around as well. So that took a lot of struggle, but once I lost about 12 to 13 kgs this way. And when my immune system started getting weaker and I started falling ill more often. That's when I decided, no, this has to stop. I have to regain the weight and be on the healthier side. Yes, of course, like if you are overweight, there's a lot of stigma associated with it, but you should love your body the way it is. And by loving your body, it doesn't mean that you don't have to do anything to change it. You have to focus on loving it, but constructively. And if you love your body, you will take care of it. So that's one regret that I had in life, that I haven't loved my body enough in the times when I should really have, when I should have been so confident. I am now, yes, that's great, but that realization, that just came really late for me. So
in my early high school days, so I regret I wasn't confident enough. I was the youngest in my class. Most of my classmates were more built. They were more how will I say, teenage looking than I was. I was basically a child, and I was short. So I regretted that. I felt so timid to the extent that like I was closed off. I was a different person in school compared to who I was at home. I was jovial and all that, interacting with people, but I never interacted with most people in my school because I was always timid. And this brought about bullying. I was bullied sort of in a way, and it really affected my self-esteem basically. Although I came off it when I moved to another school, but I wish I actually connected with people more and was a bit out there. Just because you're different doesn't mean you can't still make a difference, or you can't still do things that you want to. Just try to be free, because I know if I was a bit free and more involved, instead of just trying to be invisible, because it was a conscious effort. I was almost invisible, aside from doing things in class and being a good student. I didn't do anything else, no curricular activities. I just went home straight. I didn't even have any friends, and I regret that.
My regret in life is that I knew what was right, but I did the wrong thing. I had an impression in my spirit that this decision that I was about to take was going to lead me, like it was going to lead to a very bad thing, and I still went ahead. Like I felt like, oh, I could handle it, like I was capable, and oh boy, it didn't turn out well. Like it was really bad. It really almost like not destroyed me, but like it tore me apart. Like I was really not myself, because I knew that I could have done better. I knew that, I knew the right thing to do, but I still went ahead and did the wrong thing, and then it was really bad for me. It affected me, and that was it. Yes, what I could have done better is, one, to listen to the leading of the Spirit. If the Spirit of God is leading you, you should, they say that thing is the Spirit of God, that thing that you hear. When you want to make a certain decision in life, anything you want to do, always listen to that inward witness in your spirit that is telling you not to do it. If I had listened, I wouldn't have gone ahead and make the decision that I made, and it wouldn't have led to what's happened. So that's it.
Well, it's not one, it's not two, it's plenty. Okay, but my regrets, I would say spiritually, it took a lot of time for me to decide to grow up and start to mature spiritually, because I remember a lot of things my mom used to do for me, like pray for me and teach me, but I just wasn't ready for some reason, because I felt like, oh, I had her backing and I didn't really need to do much. But now that I I've come to understand the benefits that comes with having your personal relationship with Christ. Like I just wish that I had done that earlier and decided to do that earlier. Now, financially, I was also very dependent on my parents because I had a lot of opportunities to begin to grow myself financially from way when I was younger. But I'm happy that I grew up and took that opportunity, and now I'm happy that I'm able to work on myself and do all of that. Also, I used to have an issue with trying to be independent. I made a mistake of trying to keep to myself and not socialize. So most of the things I would do, I wasn't building relationship. Not that I didn't like anybody, but we could be hi, hello friends, and then I wouldn't want to know what's going on in your life. But growing up, I've come to realize that it's very important to have relationships with people and be able to communicate, and just no man is an island or no man is perfect on his own, but you need to have relationships and communicate for you to do better.
So personally, as of now, if you ask me if I carry any regrets, I don't. But if there are things that I would have changed, yes, for sure. And I think one of the things is where I could have made, wisdom was all around me, and I could have picked up and listened carefully, especially in the area of trusting blindly without having knowledge or discerning rather by the Spirit. And I think that's one of the areas that I would have had it differently. But other than that, as of now, I'm happy that all things are working together for good. What I would have done differently would be that I think in the area of especially for example, one of the things that I regret about, I mean, literally what I've changed in that area would be in the area of a relationship that I got into. And that actually cost a lot, and it also taught me a lot. But I wish, as the Bible says, like a wise man would be the one who sees ahead what is going on around him and then still avoid such things instead of going down the ditch and then learning it from there. So as of now, it's better to be watchful and not blinded or being blindsided without just going with the flow. So that's something that I've changed, and I'm still thinking on changing all the more as in the days to come.
I would say my regret in life is actually when I'm not old, of course, but when I was young in a secondary school, I had friends. No, I won't say friends, I'll say more of like classmates. But I wish I got to know them better. Like I wish I built connections, because when I grew up, I finally realized most things in life is actually based on the connections you have, and I seriously regret the fact that I wasn't able to build up that connection, like friendship, get to know them better. I was just on my own, doing my things my way. This is how it is, and that is it. Like I said, I wish I communicated. I wish I spoke to people. I wish I made friends, like built connection, made friends out of people around me, because you never know who you might need their help later in the future. And I wish I really, really did that. And right now, since I said I'm still growing, I'm not old. I'm doing that now. I'm definitely doing better at that. Thank you.